Gentlemen, Antonio here. Today I'm going to talk about 5 style tips I picked up in the United States Marine Corps. Now, whenever I got out of the Marines and ended up going to business school, living abroad, I was always surprised how many men, for some reason, felt that if you care about how you dress, if you improve your style, somehow this is making you less of a man. Somehow it is feminine related to actually care about our presentation, and that if you are dressing sharp and you're upping your style game, that either you're looking for another job or they maybe start to question your sexuality. Guys, I have no idea where this comes from. If you look throughout history, the most ferocious, the most dangerous warriors, and all these people throughout history, they cared about how they present themselves. You look at modern day athletes, the top athletes, the ones that realize, you know, when I'm there in front of the press at a news conference, it actually matters how I present myself so I can control the story which is being portrayed. And guys, that's what style's about. You being able to control the message, control what your image is sending so that you can get your bigger message across. Now, in this video, guys, I'm going to share with you 5 tips. I think you're going to find them useful. But remember, if you want more, go check out the article. In the article, I go into a lot more detail. And in fact, I've got 5 additional bonus ones I'm not going to cover here. But if you want to learn more, definitely go check that out. All right, let's get into it. So tip number 1, your presentation matters. Sounds incredibly simple, guys, but you would not believe how many people still believe how they dress shouldn't have no effect. Should have, you know, come on, judge me based off my performance. I hear this all the time. If anyone is judging me based off of how I look, they're shallow and I'm in the right. And I know that sounds great, and I want that to be true, but that is not reality. That's not the world. That's ignoring our human nature to make split-second decisions off of what we see. Now, when I was in the Marine Corps, I remember I got really sick one time. I'm at NAS Pensacola, and you weren't allowed to wear your flight suit, so I'm wearing a different uniform. I'm wearing my camis into the doctor's office, and I'm just surprised as I'm walking up there, all of these enlisted Marines who were not saluting me. They were actually kind of giving me a strange look and didn't think much of it. I'm sick. I walk in, and then I realize when I get home, I was wearing my uniform with no rank insignia. Now, that's pretty obvious in the military, that we make decisions who we're going to salute, who we're going to call sir, who we are going to call by their rank and give them respect based off of their rank insignia. In the civilian world, does that exist? You bet it does. And it's not as easy to see, but we have visions of what a successful doctor looks like, of what a successful engineer looks like, of what a successful student looks like. And if you don't dress for that vision that people have in their head, you are betraying their expectations, and their level of trust, their level of belief in you is going to go down. I just saw a guy the other day dressed incredibly bad. I was kind of wondering, man, should I buy this guy's meal? Turns out he's driving a beautiful truck, and I'm sure he was doing really well, but he betrayed my expectation of what a successful person who can actually buy their own food looks like. And I know that's not necessarily right, but oftentimes it is an indicator. There's a reason why we fall back on that. So guys, understand that the way you present yourself to the world matters, and it matters a lot. Tip number 2, learn from the best. There's always a guy out there that seems like he's hacked the system, that has secrets and is somehow saving time but still looking sharp. We had a Marine like this in OCS, and the guy basically would sleep all night, yet in the morning, after all of us had been up all night ironing our uniforms, shining our boots, his stuff would still be immaculate, and he would just cruise right through the inspection. Turns out he was a Mustang, and he knew that he needed to have an extra set of boots, an extra uniform that was nothing more than simply an inspection uniform that he had ready. Guys, when people have secrets like that, you want to leverage them. One of my favorite secrets, which I still use to this day coming out of the Marine Corps, is to use shirt garters. So shirt garters will keep your shirt tucked in no matter the situation, guys. So right up here, you got 2 tabs. They're going to attach to the top of the shirt. This is going to attach to your socks. It's going to run down your leg, and basically it's a little bit elastic right here, and it's going to keep your socks up. Most importantly though, it's going to keep your shirt tucked in. So if you're a little bit bigger and your shirt's coming untucked all the time, this is a lifesaver. If you take care of yourself and you're tired of that muffin top, this is going to make you look great. We would use these during when you had to wear your alphas or other dress uniforms, whenever you're getting ready for the Marine Corps ball and you're going to be taking your shirt off maybe a little bit later at that bar and partying it up, and you want it still to look great. That's what these are going to do, guys. And I want you to go check out KK&J. That's the company that sent me these, because 2 years ago, they sent me some of these. and I still use them, and they're still in good shape. I really like KK&J because they've actually taken the idea that many police officers know, that all branches of the military in their dress uniforms, we all know about these, and they actually made it a little bit wider. They actually added a bit of color so it looks pretty cool. They make them right here in the United States, out in New York City, and I know the founders, really great guys. So tip number 3. The details matter. So we're about to go out to the Marine Corps ball, and I remember a friend of mine stopped another Marine, and he said, "Hey, wait a minute, you know, your ribbons," and I didn't spot this, but he was able to spot how his ribbons were actually on a bit wrong. They weren't measured correctly, and this is the first time we're getting dressed. And you may think, I bet if he had gone out, very few people would have noticed, but he would have been embarrassed if, let's say, a general or someone, you know, a high-ranking senior enlisted would have come over and said, "You know, sir, let me help you out here." He realized that those little details matter, and he was able to spot something that maybe was off by about half an inch, but still the details matter. And I'll tell you why they matter, because that same Marine, if he's working on a helicopter, and this is a true story, we actually saw where, I think it was a washer or something was put on wrong. It was put on backwards, a very small detail on the tail rotor of a helicopter, ended up causing instability, and the thing basically broke off and really injured a number of Marines. That is why attention to detail matters. It's something that spreads around, because if you pay attention to the way you dress and the details that go into that, you pay attention to the way you write, you pay attention to the way you run your business, you pay attention to the way you treat people, and those details matter. Life is nothing more than all the details brought together. Tip number 4. Always have your equipment ready. So I remember coming back from my first deployment. We'd been out 6 months, and your family's there waiting to see you. Everyone's excited. But before you go home, guess what you need to do? You need to go to the armory. You need to make sure that your weapon is clean. You need to make sure it's properly cataloged. Everything is put away. And basically, we are ready to go back out, if necessary, before we go home and rest. So guys, what you don't want to do is don't fall into the habit of coming home and then just relaxing and not being prepared for the next day. One of the things I really highly recommend men do is be prepared. Get a valet, have your clothing laid out the night before, press your shirts the night before, shine your shoes the night or even the week before. Have everything set up. Prepare because there are going to be times, and many of you guys that have kids, you understand this happens. Kids get sick in the middle of the night. You're up all night, you oversleep, and all of a sudden you realize you've got 15 minutes to get yourself ready and 3 kids. And if you do not have things lined up, you're not going to have time to shine your shoes. You're not going to have time to find the tie and match it with your shirt. So be prepared, and whenever the unexpected happens, guys, you will be ready for it. Tip number 5, appreciate your history. So many of you guys may have noticed throughout this video, I'm wearing a boutonniere. I'm wearing a flower on my lapel, and many men wouldn't do that. They feel that, oh, well, that's somehow a bit feminine, or that's, you know, why would I wear a flower? Only women wear flowers. Guys, nothing could be further from the truth. If you understand the history of the boutonniere, where it comes from, all of a sudden you realize nothing could be more masculine. A little bit of the history. Let's go back to the medieval times. Knights, when they were going off into combat, the women that loved them, their mothers, their daughters, their wives, would pin flowers on them as a symbol of how frail life is. We go back to World War I. French soldiers going off to fight in the trenches, many of whom never returned. They have pictures of this, of them just pinning flowers on there. To this day, the red poppy symbolizes the First World War and all the lives lost. When you realize that that's what flowers symbolize on a man, you start to realize, you know, I have the courage to weather. And that's the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with, is have the courage to lead. Have the courage to be the best dressed man in the room. And when you understand history, where you know where you come from, you have a rock to stand on. And it doesn't matter what the rest of the world's doing. It matters where you know that your grandfather has been, your great-great-grandfather. Perhaps looking back, you can build off of that. And you have the courage to go forward and be the man you know yourself to be. Now, guys, I want you to go check out the support article. I go into more details there. In fact, I've got 5 bonus tips additional, so that one's 10 I learned in the Marine Corps. In addition, I have an extra set of, okay, I want you guys to take a look at this one because it is not this one. They sent me an extra one, and I want to send it to somebody out there just go to visit their website. I'm going to link to it right over here. And I want you guys to try to guess. I'll give you the colors. It is mostly blue. It has some yellow and some red. If you can guess it, I'll look at all the people that guess correctly, and I'm going to choose one, maybe two winners, and I'll go ahead and send you guys out some of these because I find that they're a lifesaver. It's one of my favorite secrets. And guys, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.